Chapter 5, Manon Maneuvers.
What should I whip up today?
So apparently, just like the beginning of Chapter 4, Chapter 5 is presenting us with a very difficult decision. What are we going to have for lunch? In Chapter 4, we had fried chicken, so we're going to have to switch things up. I think today I'm feeling we're going to stick on the chicken train, but we're going to go from fried to stir-fried. Chicken sauté, please, Lynn.
That is a great idea.
Well, I'm so glad she approves.
Lindy,
is every chapter from now on going to involve Lynn cooking us lunch?
Too adorable.
Oh, Tatsu.
Oh, yeah?
As leader of Blade Team, Tatsu need cool and tough image.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Is Lindley even listening to Tatsu?
What? Sure I am. Hey, what if you got a tan? A little color could do wonders for your image. In fact, I've got the perfect lotion for you. I'll even help you apply it.
Well, okay, if Lindley insists. Wow, thank you, Lindley. Tanning oil smells so sweet and is a bit sticky.
Tanning oil? That's just plain old honey. It's the crucial step for a perfect chicken sauté, the honey marinade.
Lindley, Tatsu not chicken, Tatsu is Tatsu!
Oh, right. How could I forget?
Lindley is not funny. Tatsu is not laughing.
I mean, I'm kind of laughing. Sorry, Tatsu.
Okay, folks. Hope you're hungry.
Holy moly, Lynn, you are a good little cook for 13 years old. That looks delicious. The fact that Tatsu was all in for a tan is funny enough on his own. The fact that he ended up covering honey, even better. What a perfect way to start Chapter 5 here in Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I can't get over your cooking, Lynn. That was delicious.
Thanks, Gwyn. Glad you liked it. I hope it was enough. If I'd known we were expecting company, I definitely would have made more.
Yes. Then maybe Tatsu could eat full portion.
Sorry, Pint Size. What Gwyn lacks in stature, he more than makes up for with his monstrous appetite. He's kind of a pig.
Okay, first of all, I'm taller than you. And second, you just ate almost double what I did. Who's the pig here?
I'm assuming you didn't just come here to argue. What's going on?
So, we had this extermination order up around the northern coast. Some violent indigents that got a little too touchy-feely. Apparently banged up a few outfitters. Pretty standard stuff.
We're all prepped and about to head out, and then bam! Another job comes in from Commander Tank Top.
Commander Tank Top!
I mean, I know we're the best and all, but seriously.
And I thought the good name was
Sounds
Commander
rough.
Mustache.
All right, you take the indigents, and we'll take Vandam's job.
Thank you, Colonel. Let me walk you through the intel. These images I'm about to show you are from a probe in Oblivia.
Is that a ship of some sort? Can't really tell from that distance.
Yeah, it's hard to grasp the scale with such long-range images. Whatever it is, it's getting hammered.
Friends must do something to help poor ship. Tatsu will not stand for this injustice.
Says the one guy who never actually fights anything.
It's difficult to say for sure from this, but that craft on the right, I bet it's Ganglion. It shares aspects of their mech design.
Our thoughts exactly. The assignment is to get there and confirm one way or another. We don't know who built the ship that's under attack, but as the commander so elegantly put it, our enemy's enemies might be our pals. I'm inclined to agree. If we're gonna settle here on Mira, we'll need all the friends we can get.
That's for sure. All right, thanks for the info. We'll take it from here.
Thank you, Colonel.
Sounds like we're definitely getting the cooler mission here. Well, they're just gonna go take care of some indigents. We're gonna go investigate the unidentified xenoform spacecraft that was spotted in Oblivia. And while we're there, look for any other interesting objects. Chapter 5, here we go. Alright, so now that our tummies are full of chicken stir-fry, Tatsu has got the honey out of his fur, and we've got our mission. That means it's time for us to fast travel. Luckily, we unlocked a fast travel region just outside of Oblivia on our last episode, so we can fast travel right to FN Site 301, which is called Oblivia Ingress. Our target is about 2 feet in front of us if we warp to this objective, so this should really cut down on travel time. Alright, so here we are in Oblivia. This area is just to the northeast of New LA, and obviously looks very different in terms of topography. We're looking at sort of a desert-type region, almost Grand Canyon-esque, and the thing that immediately draws the eye is all these alien-like structures. We've met a bunch of different aliens on our journey so far. In fact, there's one of them in our party right now. Some of them have been hostile, some haven't, some are native to this planet, some aren't. So I'm very interested to learn more about the ruins in this area, because as you can see straight ahead, there are a ton of huge ruins right over there. But before we do any exploration, looks like we're headed right into a cutscene here.
Welcome to Sandy Bum Canyon.
Huh?
AKA Oblivia?
I like Sandy Bum better.
Olivia? Friends really name it that?
You know I said Oblivia.
Lindley, listen to Tatsu. This place always have sandstorms. Sands get everywhere. Therefore, Sandy Bum Canyon. Nopon ancestors name it just fine ages ago. Or does Lindley think she better name her than native Mirren peoples?
What? No.
Good. Tatsu accept Lindley apology and forgive. This time.
Strange. There's nothing here. It was hard to tell the scale of it from the grainy images. But that ship should have at least been big enough to spot from here.
Yeah. Huh? Elma, look!
Another new Xeno species.
Hang on. Maybe I can pick up what they're saying.
Impossible! I'm telling you, just us is impossible, okay? Stop talking like that, would you? We have to do this, right? For everyone back on the ship. But how are we supposed to destroy the turrets? This place is likely crawling with ganglion, no?
So they're not ganglion, at least.
Yeah. It sounded like they're fighting against them to me.
Friends. Tatsu knows. Those are Manon. Manon appeared on Mira maybe year before Friends?
I know that sound. What is it, Elma?
Just Tatsu, the ganglion, and now these Manon. Don't you find it a little odd that we can understand these alien languages?
Good point.
Honestly, that's a really good point. Shout out to Elma. I don't know how I never even thought about it before. I guess growing up with media such as Star Wars, you just kind of assume that a lot of aliens speak our language, but that's actually a great point. Literally every alien species we've met so far, we've been able to understand and communicate with. We've got two options here. We can either suggest they learned our language, or we suggest some device must be translating. I mean, I highly doubt they would be able to learn our language if this is our first encounter. This is the first time I've heard of these Manon creatures, and they're just talking amongst themselves. I'm not sure why they would forsake their native language to suddenly start speaking English. So, as far-fetched as it may seem, my hypothesis here is maybe some device must be translating.
Right? Must be something like that.
But we haven't been using our comm devices when we've been talking with Tatsu.
Well, Tatsu is fluent. More or less.
Tatsu, did you study our language?
Friends language?
What language are we speaking right now?
What language? Nopon, of course. Friends Nopon very good, by the way.
See? Xenoforms have different anatomy, physiology, different vocal setups in general. It seems likely they would struggle with our pronunciations. And yet here we are, conversing.
But if they can't even produce the sounds, this shouldn't be possible.
No, it shouldn't be. Unless our words aren't being perceived as sounds at all. Maybe our intent is getting across some other way. But how? Could it be something about this planet?
Someone sounds pretty intrigued, huh?
Well, what if it is some kind of new phenomenon? Aren't you curious to learn more?
Alright, now you're starting to sound just like Elle.
Okay already. Friends talk less, help Manon more. After all, Tatsu have reputation as hero pawn to uphold here.
Sure. Right after a quick snack.
Run, little potato!
I'm not sure how much we can help, but we should at least make contact. Agreed?
Agreed. That was a very interesting conversation. It actually had never crossed my mind, the fact that we can understand all of these different Xeno species, which is certainly interesting. Another thing that's interesting is right before we walked into this cutscene, I was talking about how many different Xeno species we had encountered so far, and lo and behold, there's another one. Now, it appears that the Manon, as Tatsu called them, are not native to this planet, but have been here for approximately 1 year. So far, that means 4 different Xeno species, if you count us, humans, have come to Mira in the last year or so. That can't be just a coincidence, right? What is drawing everyone to this planet? Regardless, I'm very excited to have the opportunity to meet another Xeno species, so we'll head down there now. Before we do, though, we need to learn about something very important: bottomless pits. Bottomless pits are topographical features present in certain areas. If you fall into one, your party will be incapacitated, whether on foot or piloting skills. So the TLDR is, even though there's no fall damage in this game, there are still some places you cannot jump off into. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, we actually have Elle in our party right now. He's one of the native species of Mira and one of the nice Xenos we've encountered. And judging by the conversation we just heard from the Manon, it seems like they're probably nice too. At least if you follow the principle of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. They were talking like they didn't want to encounter any of the Ganglion, who we know for certain are not allies of ours. So let's head over and make contact with the Manon. So crazy to think that over the course of, you know, however many hours we've been exploring this planet, we've made first contact with multiple different alien species. Talk about an astronaut's dream or a sci-fi geek's dream to just be making contact with all of these different alien species. It's pretty cool. As you can see, there are some big monsters in this area, but luckily he's looking the other way, so we'll just kind of take a detour down here. Definitely want to head over that way and see what all those alien ruins are about. By the looks of it, they've been there a long time, so is there another sort of long-lost Xeno species on this planet? Now, we should be able to jump down here to our marker, Mysterious Xenoform. Hello, we come in peace!
Hey, is everything alright?
Relax. Tatsu here to help.
No! More aliens! Hey, look! They've got food, too! No pawn takeout, yes?
Tatsu is not takeout or food. Humans are personnel to assist Tatsu.
Personnel?
No, Tatsu mean personnel favorites.
Nice save, Tatsu.
Then humans are friendly? Humans are not working with the Ganglion?
Sorry for the scare. We're from a planet called Earth. The Ganglion are enemies to us as well.
Enemies, you say? That means you're friends to the Manon, yes? We are Manon, you know. Ours is an advanced civilization. You can tell, right? The Ganglion desire our technology. But Earth human heroes have come to save us, right? I'm right?
I hope so. Why don't one of you tell us what happened?
Oh, okay. I got this one. Let me answer this one, okay? So Our ship is hiding in that big crevasse, under the fog and stuff, you follow? But the ganglion have it surrounded with anti-aircraft turrets, you see?
Okay, so in other words, if we can destroy their weapons, your ship can escape.
Exactly. They have 3 turrets set up around the area. You see them now? We need you to destroy them all, okay? Please?
Got it. We don't want the ganglion controlling the airspace here any more than you do. We'd be happy to help out.
You mean it? You'll help us? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you!
So it looks like the enemy of my enemy being my friend holds true even along the Manon. These guys are so cute. I think they're absolutely adorable, and maybe it's because of their cute little voices, but I am so happy to help out these little guys. The anti-aircraft turrets targeting our ship are in 3 different places, alright? So make sure you destroy them all. Normally a few turrets would be no threat to us at all, you know, but the surprise landing has made all our countermeasures go haywire. Okay, so looks like they are all spread out around the canyons, rather, which gives us a great opportunity to explore. From down here, we get an even better view of all of the ancient alien ruins around this area. There's some sort of disc over there. You can see the almost alien structural supports on the sides of the cannon, the big circle we saw over there before. This is actually very, very cool. Wow, what a landscape. Alright, so we'll head to each location now. There's some alien wreckage here that we unfortunately can't harvest. We must learn the archaeological field skill to recover this treasure. And on the way, I guess we'll get to know some of the local wildlife a little bit. We've got, oh, that's a turkey, ostrich, rhinoceros thing with some very interesting neck decorations. We've also got little dinosaur thingies up here, all sorts of cool stuff that I'm sure is totally not going to attack us, right? Before we actually head to the locations of the anti-aircraft cannons, I need to take a little detour because it looks like up here is a probe spot. Before we get there, we may as well check out the local wildlife. This is the soldier Grex guarding the FN Site 302. So how about we stretch our battle muscles, if you will. Get everybody warmed up before we no doubt have to fight some ganglion at each of the cannon sites.
Move in and do some damage. Take this! Tough. Touch me up.
So as you can see, today's party is actually me, Lau, Elle, and Elma. So while Lynn is present in the cutscene, she's along for the ride. We don't actually have her in our active battle party today. Alright, and it looks like our active battle party did just fine against the Grex there. Now, uh-oh, this happened to us the last time we were in the area. There's some sort of, like, storm happening that causes us to take constant damage. You can see the lightning flashing across the sky up there, which is pretty epic, except for the fact that it's so powerful, it's literally causing us damage. It's causing me so much damage that I can't even install this data probe. What am I supposed to do here? Do we just wait it out? I guess it'll have to pass eventually, right? In the meantime, can we take a minute to just admire how freaking cool it is? Wow, okay, we're gonna have to come back to FN Site 302 later, I guess. We're gonna have to keep moving. I don't know if we can find shelter or something that maybe might protect us, because we are taking big damage over time. Holy moly, this is a huge storm. Yeah, we'll have to go back to FN Site 302 later. Let's see if... Whoa, that thing is cool. If we sort of take shelter under this outcropping here, if that helps at all with the damage. Yes, it does. Okay, fantastic. So we found a place we can sort of wait out the storm. I'm gonna quickly actually pop back out to harvest this vehicle wreckage. And then we can hang out under this little overhang until the storm passes. Okay, so I was waiting for a couple of minutes of in-game time, and then I realized, hey, I can probably just change the time of day manually through the menu, can't I? And I did, and that actually circumvented the storm. So, for anyone wondering if there's a way to get around the storm, looks like changing the time of day will do it. Now, we can pop back to FN Site 302 to make sure we install the data probe here before we move forward. Beautiful. Recon for nearby segments has now been unlocked. We've got another foothold into this new area. Now, we need to get moving to our 3 spots. So, they're actually all over on the other side of that canyon, meaning I guess we're gonna kind of have to cut across this plain here, under the overhang, and go around. Alright, looks like we're getting close to our first objective, looking at this large structure up ahead and its proximity to our quest marker. I think this must be the first anti-aircraft gun right here. Now, unfortunately for us, it is being guarded by level 55 machines. The Ganglion are taking security of this place very seriously, so we're gonna have to give them a wide berth. Before we actually head over to the structure, I do see what appears to be, yep, alien wreckage right here that we can investigate. Let's grab this. And now we need to navigate our way through these high-level mechs. I think if I can get back up to the platform we were just on, our odds are going to be a little bit higher. So let's go back around. Hopefully if we go around the back side of this structure, there will be less defenses, because we certainly are in no position to take on level 55 creatures right now, seeing as our party is around level 18. So yeah, we've got a big guy there. This is Cliffside Camp. Oh yeah, oh my god, there are so many of them here. Wow. This is not good. Okay. How in the heck are we gonna get through this camp to disable the gun? It kind of looks like the gun's actually on the other side of the camp. Whoa! Not only do we have the high-level aliens, we've also got that giant gorilla thing. Okay, yeah, it looks like the aircraft gun is just over there on the far side of the camp. So if we can kind of give all of these guys a wide berth, get around the backside, I think we might be home free. Yes, here we go. Actually, I spoke too soon. I see more monsters up ahead. However, they are much more reasonably in our level. They're all level 21. These are prone, which are the minions of the Ganglion. That's what we found out at the end of Chapter 4. We found out the relationship between the prone and the Ganglion, because we knew the prone was hunting us, but we didn't know why. Apparently, they're doing so under orders from their Ganglion overlords, so... Alright, there's a bunch of prone here, but at least they're not level 50. They put the lower level grunts over in front of the anti-aircraft cannon. The main level grunts are over there in front of their little encampment. So we'll certainly take that. We'll take whatever we can get here. L is down, unfortunately. I don't even know where L went. Oh, it's because L, like, ran in to attack other prone instead of staying here and taking them out one by one like us. Luckily, Lau got over to L and was able to resurrect him, so he's back on his feet. And now, L, please don't draw the attention of any other prone. I want to try to take them down one by one, because so far that's working. Even though they have the level advantage, we have the number advantage. And we're actually making quick work of them here when we do it one by one. There we go. Alright, next up. Here's a Marnuk Vanguard. Wait a minute, is this another type of alien? The Marnuk? Holy moly, I gotta start keeping a list, because we have come across so many different alien species at this point. I don't think we can even count them all on one hand anymore, and about half of them are friendly and the other half are not. It appears the Marnuk are not in the friendly category. Alright, we got some class rank ups. We took out the guards. Is there anyone else around? Yes, there's one more guy right over here. Let's get rid of him, another prone purger.
We can do this if we put our minds together. think of the materials we'll gather?
It worked! Close it and seal the deal!
Arcing Horn! First down! Wild Smash!
Backslash!
Final Horn!
Move in and do some damage.
Balance Breaker!
It worked! Close it and seal the deal!
Sidewise!
Side flash!
Arcing Storm!
Alright, there we go. And then I got a level up to level 18. All the guards are down. We'll grab the loot from the prone purger. And now... Oh, wait a minute. Where the heck did this thing come from? I was just gonna say, and now we're free to attack the anti-aircraft gun. Oh, wait a minute. This is the anti-aircraft gun. It's not just a mindless weapon. It actually has a bit of a mind of its own. Targeter Zig has his own defenses, but he's only level 16, so that's good for us. That's so funny. I literally turned around and was like, ah yes, smooth sailing to the anti-aircraft gun. Uh-oh, no, the anti-aircraft gun actually woke up and now wants to fight us. Alright, but that's okay. We did find our target. Whether it fights back or not is honestly irrelevant.
My forte, but if you insist.
We're doing great damage here.
Somewhere. Get us buffed up. Eagle Eye! Arcing Horn!
Shadow strike!
Wild Down!
There we go. Nice. Alright, so that's one gun down.
One down.
2 to go. Let's move.
You heard the ladies. Let's move. So, we got the one here on this side of the canyon. So now we need to keep moving around to the other side. There's one over there, which is interesting because it appears... That looks like a very fortified position. That might be a ganglion base or fortress of some sort. We'll need to get closer to really see. And then there's another one over on the cliff's edge right there. So before we go anywhere, I do see a wrecked trailer that we can grab. And then let's go around to the other side. Judging by how much opposition we had to get through to take out the first gun, I'd only assume that we'll have even more defenses to push through over here. And as I say that, I actually see them come into view. Luckily, none of these are level 50. They're all in the level 20 region. We should be able to sort of sneak past a lot of them, but I'm sure a couple of fights will be in our future as well. Luckily, our journey tonight is lit by the light of these beautiful, beautiful moons. So if anything, we'll just enjoy the scenery, kick some alien butt, and make our way over to our next objective. So it looks like we're not the only human expedition in this region. Right here, we've got a camp. Needle Bridge, BC.
What is that? So
We saw, if you look closely at the terrain around Mesa Fortress, you'll notice it's basically divided into 2 tiers. Looks like it would be a lot easier to approach it from the upper one. Huh, that info actually might come in handy. So I guess that structure that I saw earlier is what they're referring to as Mesa Fortress. So what they're saying is, if we can get the high ground, we'll have a lot easier of a time. The unfortunate reality is, though, I don't know that we can get the high ground. I mean, we'd have to take a huge detour all the way down to the end of the canyon and come back up around. As much as it's probably not strategically advised, I think I'm just gonna try to go in through the front gate. We'll see how many defenders they have set up here. It is just after midnight. Hopefully a lot of these guys are gone to bed. Although in saying that, I actually see a ton of guards up ahead. We might need to take the big detour after all. And unfortunately, another one of those electrical storms have just started up. Whoa, I almost walked off the edge. Holy moly, that was too close for comfort. So I'm actually gonna go back to camp here. We'll fast travel, or sorry, change the time such that we're not being constantly electrocuted. And then I'll see if we've got another way to approach this. So here's what I'm thinking. If this entrance to Mesa Fortress is heavily guarded, what if we try to come from the other side? Because there is actually another turret over here. And maybe there's some sort of opportunity for us to get up behind Mesa Fortress and come up from the top, just like our friends suggested. So I'm wondering if we actually fast travel back to the beginning of this area at Oblivia Ingress and then take the southerly path, we can pick up this air turret here, and then hopefully have an easier time infiltrating Mesa Fortress. So let's give that a shot, shall we? Okay, so it looks like coming around this way was indeed the correct strategy, as I'm now in between two of the markers. One of them's behind us in the fortress structure proper, and then the other one is out there on the edge of this cliff. Now, there's definitely resistance, but it seems like it's a bit more spread out, and everything is definitely of a more reasonable level. So let's just work methodically through all of these prone warriors. So first up is this guy. This must be their ship, which is a very interesting structure. Very pointy.
We can handle this.
Regardless, it does not appear to have a mind of its own. It's not going to fight back. So all we've got to take on is this one prone warrior right here, which we should be able to take down. Hopefully.
Arcing horn! Sidewinder!
Side slash! Side slash! Sliding slinger!
Keep shooting!
Shadow strike!
Shrapnel!
Backslash! Sliding slinger!
Eagle eye!
Close
Appreciation!
and seal the deal!
My forte, but if you insist.
Shadow strike!
Right in the kisser! Now, cripple them!
Sliding strike!
Wild slap!
There we go. Prone warrior down, which got Lao a level up to level 19. Now, what else do we have back here? We've got a couple of, like, robots. What are these things? Dagger Pug.
We have to take them on.
They look like bots. Interesting. So it appears, I mean, if it wasn't already apparent, that the enemies we're dealing with here are highly advanced. It appears they have some sort of mechanized robots as defenses, which obviously suggests a high level of technological prowess, which, again, was probably apparent by the fact that these guys chased us all the way to Earth in their spaceships. But, you know, in case you needed more evidence, here we go. We got robots to fight. Luckily, the way the robots are spread out, you can kind of attack each one by one, which obviously really helps our odds. So even though he's level 20, he's really no match for the four of us at level 18 and 19 across the board.
We weathered the storm.
We sure did weather the storm, and we got ourselves some class rank ups as a reward. We'll pick up the items here. Yeah, okay, we've got a few more guys, but again, very spread out, which makes it easy for us. Here's another Dagger
We have to
Pug.
take them on. Start with melee.
Every time I say pug, I think I'm saying puke. Dagger pukes. That's what we can call them if we really want to catcall and trash talk. We can call them Dagger pukes and see if we can get under their skin. Wait, they don't have skin. Well, you know, get under their metal plating. You're going down, Dagger puke.
Now, melee
We'll put a sock on them.
We'll put a sock on them? Oh, I love El's miscues of human sayings. He's really trying his best, and he gets real close, but doesn't quite get there. It doesn't keep me entertained, though. Alright, we've got two guys right there, a guy there, some robots. Actually, there's a lot more resistance here than I first thought. At first, when we started over there, I was like, this is gonna be smooth sailing, but I mean, no, it's not. This is not going to be a walk in the park. We're just going to keep methodically whittling away the defenses and working towards the turret down there at the end of the plateau. Okay, that was tough slugging. It would be a lie for me to say that it was a cakewalk to just get in here to this second cannon, but hey, we did it. Like I said, I just did it in a methodical fashion, moving from enemy to enemy, making sure we didn't get sort of ganged up on or overwhelmed, and now here we are right at the anti-aircraft cannon. We'll take down this prone barbarian that's standing guard first before we get closer, but hopefully 2 cannons will be down soon enough. I think one of you guys actually mentioned in the comments on my previous video that Chapter 5 was quite difficult, and you recommended that I be, you know, at least in the level 20 area to get through this chapter. And I can see why you made that recommendation, because this has definitely been some tough fights right here. If you just ran from Chapter 4 to Chapter 5 without doing any sort of leveling up, I can imagine that you would experience extreme difficulty in this chapter. And I mean, we've still got lots of chapter to go, so maybe I'm prefacing myself having extreme difficulty later on. So far, it's been good, but it's certainly been a challenge. This has not been easy by any means. It's quite clear that the game is designed that you have to do sort of the open world exploration elements, the side quests, the affinity missions, if you want to succeed. Sometimes in open world games you can sort of ignore the open world and just focus on the main story. From my experiences so far in Xenoblade Chronicles X, that does not appear to be the case. If you want to be at all prepared or appropriately leveled for the fights, you need to explore the open world, fight enemies, find treasure, do side quests. All of that is essential to make sure that you're actually appropriately leveled and ready for what the main story is going to throw at you. Because so far, yeah, has not been a cakewalk by any means.
Number 2 goes boom!
Just one more left.
Just one more, and that's the one inside, what did they call it? Miso Fortress, right over there. 2 down, 1 to go. Okay, time to infiltrate an enemy fortress, and unfortunately, it appears to be just as guarded on this side as it was on the other. However, one positive is, I think we have another option. Rather than going up through this path, I think if we go around to this side, there's a couple of guards over here, but they're pretty spread out, not too bad. I think we might be able to hop up those cliffs and get a little bit of a height advantage, like our fellow Blade suggested earlier. If we can sort of drop down on them from above, I think that'll make a world of difference. So let's give the front entrance itself a bit of a wide berth. We'll pick up these couple of items right here. If we take down this guy right here, the prone warrior, I think we might be able then to hop up on the cliff right above him and hopefully kind of sneak through the back of the fortress and get closer to the cannon itself. This whole place has definitely required a lot more strategy than some of the other main quests we've had before. Before, they just kind of give us an objective, I run towards it, I take out whatever monsters are in my way, and away we go. But here, if I do that, I would get overwhelmed very quickly. So I've needed to take precautions to sort of make sure that I'm taking the best path possible. So right here, yes, this did allow me to hop up. And then I think we can hop back here as well. Yeah, now we're getting some height. There we go. Now, the gun's about 200 meters that way. Obviously still lots of guards around, but I think we're making progress. I got through the first wave of defenses, which was the most important, because as you can see, there's a giant level 29 mech right over there, but we got around him. Now we've just got individual prone warriors around, which honestly won't be that difficult. So let's focus on taking these guys down next. We're really surprising them. It's just after 10 p.m. at night. They probably, you know, were up for what they expected to be a pretty boring night shift. I don't think they were expecting us to sort of jump out from the cliffs behind them and just totally ruin their day, but hey. That's what you get.
Let's move.
Alright, so we took down him. Now we can get around the ship here. No, we're not going to get around this guy. Wasn't sure if he was, you know, having a snooze in the back line or not. It appears not. He was actually pretty alert and noticed us walking by, but unfortunately for him, he's going to be outnumbered and taken down pretty quickly. Actually, in record time. Holy crap, we shredded his HP. That was impressive, guys. That was one of our best fights yet, to be honest with you. Now we can go around the back of the ship, and let's see. Looks like our aircraft cannon is actually up on the cliff right there, which means more climbing is going to be required from us, which is a-okay, because we've got a bit of a rock shelf here that we can navigate. Wish my character didn't have to grunt every time she jumped, but anywho. Now, we've got a couple more guards here, then we'll hop up that cliff and boom! Anti-aircraft gun, you're going down. Alright, it took a lot of grunt jumping, but here we are. I made it to the plateau where the cannon is, and there's just a couple of guards. First up is the dagger puke, I mean Puke. Let's take him down quick. I'm really getting the handle of combat now too, which is helpful as the battles get more and more difficult. Luckily, I at least have some idea of what I'm doing, and what is no doubt a bit of a complex battle system here. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Anti-Aircraft Cannon decided to join the party before I was ready to invite him. It's a little rude. Nothing ruder than crashing a party you weren't even invited to, Mr. Aircraft Cannon, but alright, Dagger Puke is down. There's another prone over here, which we'll take out really quick, and then we can focus on the Anti-Aircraft Cannon. The one thing that's been in our favor is all the Anti-Aircraft Cannons are only level 16, so obviously they have, you know, a bit of a size advantage, but luckily we've got the level and numbers advantage, so I like our odds.
Not my forte, but if you insist.
Tell you one thing, the Manon that we're now friends with, they would better be grateful once this is all said and done for how much work we had to put in to clear out these cannons and get them out of the line of fire. Ooh. Thing about that anti-aircraft cannon, it can actually hit you while you're in midair and interrupt your attacks, which I said he was rude earlier for crashing the party without invitation. Interrupting my attacks? Target or Zig, could you get any ruder, honestly? Anywho, luckily while I was dealing with the prone, the rest of my allies were actually already whittling this guy's HP down, so he's already less than half health. I'm worried he's gonna knock me off the cliff, though. I've got to move in a little bit before that happens. The issue with Targeter Zig is I cannot tell at all what is his front and what is his back, so I'm relying exclusively on the little exclamation points that appear over my abilities to let me know if I'm in the correct position or not. Alright, Zig. Yes! Down he goes!
Right, that's the third one. That should be all of them.
The Manon will be thrilled. Let's head back and meet up with them.
Alright, pick up our loot. And now, there's a little bit of a storm rolling in through the canyon, so I think now is a great time to fast travel to get closer to our Manon friends. We fast travel back to FN Site 302, which I'm really glad we took the time to pick up earlier. We should be right next to our friends. Let's go check in and tell them the good news. Holy moly! That thing just woke up in front of me there. That was honestly spooky. Give him a wide berth. He is huge. Now let's see. Wait a minute. Where are our friends? This is where we left them, right? They are not here.
Huh. No sign of the Manon anywhere. Where would they go?
Maybe back to their ship?
Friends, look! Over there! Boom booms!
Let's check it out.
Well, the Manons aren't here, but those boom booms are certainly ominous. Looks like they're about 1,600 meters over this way. I hope the Manons aren't going boom boom, but, I mean, hey, we've got no choice but to go check it out now, huh? Alright, we're close enough now that you can see there's some sort of base or structure that is on fire, and that's where all the boom booms came from. That's where all the smoke is coming from. It is, however, up on top of that cliff, and I'm not sure how about we're gonna get up there. Oh my god! Barnabas the Despot just came out of nowhere. I could literally hear him coming up on us. He just crash ran as fast as he could. Elle and Elma are down. Holy moly. That was legitimately kind of a jump scare. I don't even know if we're gonna get away. I just need to run as fast as I can. My guy closed in like he was on a mission. That was terrifying. And he's not letting us go. Dude, just give up.
I'll save you all as soon as I can.
Lao is down. I'm the only one standing. Okay, he's finally gave up. Holy moly, that was crazy. Some of those tyrant monsters, man, it's one thing to be just walking through the field and be like, oh yeah, that's a level 65, let's give it a wide berth. And it's another thing to see it just chase after you in hot pursuit like that. That was genuinely terrifying. That felt like Resident Evil 2. Mr. X was chasing me through the police station. Whew, alright, let's catch our breath. Honestly, that kind of worked out, because as I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, the smoke is coming from a structure up on the top of this cliff, which we wouldn't have been able to access, but being forced to run all the way over here helped us out, because I think we can access it now, and over here is actually a human encampment as well. Broken Hill, BC. A ganglion skull paid a visit to the ancient ruins atop the Booty west of here. It seemed to be searching for something. Okay. Doesn't it look like there's a small terrace-like structure off to the side of King's Falls? Think it could be part of some old ruins? I mean, there's a lot of old ruin-type structures out here, so... yeah, you guys are probably right. However, there are also a lot of high-level monsters back here, and I've had my share of run-ins with high-level monsters for the day. So I'll leave them to investigate any ruins. We need to focus on the boom booms, which are straight ahead from us. It looks like it is some sort of prone or ganglion base, because I see a whole bunch of them down here. I love how none of them are helping out, you know, trying to put out the fire or evacuate their co-workers. They are just down here doing the world's worst job of security, because I'm walking right past them all. I don't have time to deal with you guys. I gotta go see what's going on with the boom booms up here. Ruins on the Booty. Booty? Boot? I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that particular word, but this must be the ruins that the people back at camp there were talking about. For some reason, the ruins are exploding, though. I guess the prone had turned them into a base camp of sorts, or were investigating them. What is going on here? Oh, those are some big mechs. What the hell? We
Just
dare.
in time. Now go, quickly.
You saved us, yes? Thank goodness! We saw you take care of those turrets, you know? We know you
Well, guess we know what happened to our Manon friends. Unfortunately, the ganglion got to them.
We've got no choice.
Now, we did pick up a pretty interesting tidbit of information there from that conversation. It looks like the ganglion aren't the most persuasive people, but what they do excel at is shows of force and blackmail. And it seems that they, quote, convinced the prone to help them out in the same way that they were trying to convince the Manon there through threats and intimidation. So if that's the case, maybe the prone aren't a lost cause after all. Maybe if we could somehow help free them from the ganglion threats, they might see reason. But anyway, that's something we can think about in the future. Right now we've got Platoon Kamova here in a giant mech.
Now cripple them!
Primer! One's gonna cut deep. Move in and do some damage. Take this!
Balance breaker!
Alright, one's down. Now Chief Kamova is already almost down. Holy crap. We are cutting through these mechs. There's only one left. One platoon's down. The Chief was down before I even barely got a hit in. Shout out to the rest of the crew. I didn't realize we were dividing and conquering there, which I normally would never recommend as a strategy, but it apparently worked. So we'll take it. And now we'll focus in. These guys are going down. First, we destroyed all their turrets. Then we got the Manon out of their clutches, and now we're going to take down 3 of their leaders in their mechs. It's a bad day to be ganglion.
Dance of victory!
I love seeing a potato dance. Wait, no, potato! Be careful!
Damn it!
Tatsu! Oh man. The things we do for our fluffy potato-shaped friends. That was quite the hit I just took. Oh man. Thank God I've got an exoskeleton of sorts. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have survived that. Okay. First of all, lost an arm. Second of all...
What? A friend is a robot?
Yeah. What the hell?
I'm gonna block all feedback to the nervous circuits.
I'm not a human? No wonder I survived that hit. I thought it was my armor that took the blow. I'm a robot? Whoa. Talk about a plot
Wait a
twist.
second. You don't remember anything about your body being a mimeosome, do you?
A what?
She's losing her biocirculatory plasma. I can't fix this here. Elma, I need you to contact the Mimeosome Maintenance Center for me. Ask them to have a Type 085 left arm and transfusion ready ASAP.
You got it.
On the bright side, no one else seems
I'm going to
shocked
have to take you offline for a bit here, okay?
that I'm a robot.
We'll resuscitate you back in New LA.
Just me and Tatsu. I guess this was common knowledge?
Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. I promise, okay?
Well, this changes everything. Mimeosome Maintenance Center. If there's a whole maintenance center for robots, I guess this is a common occurrence. Humanity's reached a level where they have robots or androids or whatever I am. But how did I not know? Was I human at some point and my consciousness was transformed? Or transplanted into a robot body? I have so many questions. But luckily, it looks like I have 2 arms again. Good as new, I guess.
Welcome back.
So, how's that new left arm feeling?
I mean, seems alright to me.
Man, what a relief.
You're lucky Lynn was with us. If she hadn't acted as fast as she did, you might have bled out entirely. We could have lost your whole unit.
Oh, it was nothing.
Before we go any further, I wanted to apologize. I should have realized you might have forgotten about this, but... as you probably noticed, the body you're inhabiting is artificial. We call them mimeosomes. MIMS for short.
Mimeosomes are designed to mimic human physiology as much as possible. The whole point is for us to forget about them. That way we can still enjoy the things we love, like cooking.
We're all like this. Every single crew member that escaped on the White Whale. All of us are MIMS.
What?
But why would friends all become robots?
Well, just think about it. It could have taken decades to find a new planet to call home, or even centuries. We had no idea. Who would want to crew the ship if they knew they were going to grow old or die along the way?
Tatsu see Linley point.
Our actual bodies are waiting in the lifehold, in stasis with all the human passengers. We control our mimeosomes remotely from there. So you see, that's why it's so important for us to find and protect the lifehold. Our lives are on the line here too. If the lifehold were to stop functioning for any reason while we're still there in stasis...
everyone, including every MIM in New LA, would drop dead on the spot.
That reminds me, something else you should know. It's possible for us to switch to another mimeosome if these bodies fail or become too badly damaged. But the process requires equipment from the Lifehold Core, the central unit of the whole operation.
So what if Gangley and her big beasties smash Friends' robot MIMS?
We wouldn't be able to come back yet.
For now, we need to consider these MIMS as precious as we would our real, actual bodies. Don't get reckless out there just because you're in a mimeosome. That's an order, you hear? One last thing, and I need to trust you all to keep this quiet. It's sensitive info, so HQ has only been telling team leaders about it. We can't have a panic on our hands. The readout on Blade Tower. You've seen it? It's not some kind of special clock or anything like that. It's a countdown.
Big number counts down to what?
The Lifehold shutting down.
What?
The Lifehold lost its power source when we lost the White Whale. It's been running on backup ever since. We need to locate the Lifehold and get a power source in place by the time that percentage reaches 0.
And if we don't?
These bodies will no longer sustain us.
We'll die.
Not just die, Lynn. Die out. It would mean the end of the human race as we know it. The end of everything.
Well, on that cheerful note...
Okay, Rook. You good to go? Then let's report back to HQ. I'm sure the commander will want to hear about this himself.
Right.
Wow. that was a lot to unpack. So not only am I a robot, everybody here is a robot. I was talking earlier about how advanced the Manon and Ganglion civilizations were in terms of technology. Apparently I was underestimating humanity. We have not only figured out space travel, we have figured out how to project our consciousnesses from our human bodies into mechanical ones and control them remotely while our actual bodies and minds are in stasis. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I can't believe no one brought this up before, that we're all just robots here. That's pretty nuts. Also, we finally got an answer to a question I've been posing since like episode 1. What does that big clock mean? That is the doomsday counter. That is how much life energy we have left sustaining us. We're down to 41%. I'm pretty sure when the game started we were at 70 something. So we have dropped almost in half over just the course of 5 chapters. If a lot of people don't know what that clock means, I think it's kind of ironic that we're just broadcasting it. Like, hey, yeah, this is the doomsday clock. We're not going to tell any of you guys what it means, but, you know, it's pretty important. That's crazy. Okay, so as if our mission wasn't important enough before, it takes on a whole new level now. We are working with a timer. All of us are going to die, not just the people in the life hold, because guess what? We're all still in the life hold. These are just robot bodies that we're using in the meantime. This is just, wow. That is such a huge plot twist. I absolutely love it. I love a good plot twist, but still trying to wrap my head around everything we just learned. Now, it looks like the Manon are actually here in New LA, meeting with some of the leadership.
Welcome back. Your floppy friends here filled me in on everything.
Floppy friends!
You did good. Just watch yourself out there, big shot. You're still new at this, and we can't afford to lose you. We only got so many spare parts to go around.
Feeling better, are we? You took a nasty hit, no?
She'll be fine. I patched her up myself.
That's great, isn't it? We were worried sick, you know? We're still new in town, so we don't have many other friends here yet.
Wait, then Manon will live here too?
Correct. The NLA government has reached an accord with the Manon people. A friendship treaty. It guarantees their safety and provides them a place to settle here in the city.
That's great to hear, Director General. I wasn't sure how you'd react.
We don't need to be from the same species to be able to recognize our common ground. Someone told me that once.
That was a lifetime ago. That's quite a memory you have.
A blessing and a curse, believe me.
So you're all stuck here too, right? We were just cruising along out in space, you know? And suddenly, our nav system goes all screwy, and we find ourselves here. Which is pretty weird, considering our tech is far more advanced than anything Samar's got. You saw how bad they wanted it, yeah?
Samar? I thought it was the Ganglion that attacked you.
Another alien species?
As in the Interstellar Federation, Samar?
Wow.
I mean, they only rule over a radius of 6 million light-years or so of space.
6 million? But that would span multiple galaxies.
Well, yeah. The Ganglion are a run-of-the-mill crime syndicate. Just one tiny part of Samar, you know?
Just one tiny part. My good Manon, in the spirit of our agreement, we'd appreciate any intelligence you'd be willing to share.
Of course, of course. We'll tell you all we know, okay? After all, we are friends now, right? We are, right? Friends? Earth human heroes will protect us, right? Because we live here now. Right? Oh, look, look! Here comes our little ship now.
That is what they call little? It's the size of New LA. Holy moly. Can you imagine how freaked out you'd be as an ordinary citizen just seeing a giant alien ship come over top of your city? Wow. Okay, Manon, you guys came packing. Where are they gonna park that thing? There you have it, folks. That's the end of Chapter 5. The Xenoform spacecraft that we saw turned out to belong to the Manon. As a result of coming to their aid, we were able to forge a pact of friendship with them. Chapter 5 was probably the craziest chapter yet. So many reveals, learning that we're all just a bunch of androids, meeting new alien species, and then at the end, learning about this brand new alien species that is apparently ruling 6 million light years around us. We've got a lot to do from here on out, guys, but that was Chapter 5 of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I hope you enjoyed it. As my very first playthrough of this game, I gotta say, this game continues to surprise and impress me around every corner, and I think we've only just about scratched the surface of what it has to offer. I'll see you guys back here soon as we continue our journey through Xenoblade Chronicles, and until then, take care and thank you for watching.